Good morning, boys and girls. This is Mrs. Heckman. I am coming to you from my house for your holiday edition of Subplans because I am out Monday and Tuesday. These are the video instructions for both days. So that would be Frischman, Wallington, Seeley. I'm looking at all three of your classes, and here's what you're going to need to do over this class period. When you get your computers, you are going to have Heckman Engage, the Scratch tab open right here, and Scratch open, and I would have it be in create mode. So you've got a brand new thing ready to go. Some of you may be at the stage where you're finishing up your card, you're working on your maze, or you're maybe ready to start your racing game or your ping pong game. Now, I don't want you to feel limited, like it has to be a ping pong with a ball or a racing game with a car. Maybe they're horses racing. Maybe they're unicorns racing. Maybe they're babies racing. I don't know. It's up to you. I want you to be creative. That's where it's fun, right? Like, I wanted to do a ping pong game where I have a, I don't know, pancake and then, butter or syrup is flying down and they have to like bounce the butter or syrup off the pancake. So you can think of a million different things, ways to make a basic thing really cool, all right? So I want to show you where we have other things here that you can try. You may also try this thing that says Virtual Aquarium, and you may also go down and continue to work on trying to get the snow globe working. But if you're looking at this ping pong challenge, click on Challenge 5, and it should show this video, and it'll say, oh no, we're having trouble displaying. Don't worry, all of those links are right here. So if you want to look at that, you've got step-by-step tutorials here in a PDF. You've got a video tutorial, but that says only use after you've tried to make the game by yourself. And if you've done a ping pong game before, this one says a more advanced ping pong step-by-step tutorial. So that says older students or ones that maybe have done this before. So if you feel like ping pong is easy and you made one really quick, go through and give these a try. All right? So you can also make things a two-player game. There's other different kinds, ice hockey, air hockey, tons of different ways to make this creative. I believe I one year had it being like donuts bouncing off the box. But can you tell I'm hungry? All of my ideas are food-based. Let's just take a look really quickly in Scratch if you want to figure out ping pong. So I'm going to open this link in a new tab so that you can see my ping pong starter game here as my example. And then here's my blank one that I'm going to title Mrs. H Pong Game. And I'll title it 1 because maybe I want to make more than one. This is where you change the title of your game so that when you like go to your portfolio, you don't have a bunch of games that are labeled Untitled 1, Untitled 2. So let's just play it for a second and take a look. You bounce, you move the mouse to control that. There's a sound. It's got to bounce around randomly off the sides of the walls. And you've got to have like some kind of control that says if my ball falls into the red, the game is over. Let's take a look inside the code. Here we go. So the code that I like here has instructions in this little sticky note. Those yellow stickies are great because they give you a chance to teach you something about the code that you're making. It's a very simple game. You've got one stage, which is a red line across the bottom, one ball or some kind of a bouncing sprite, right? And one paddle. Even in the sprite selections here where it says new sprites, you've got options like ball, paddle, apple, bananas, all kinds of things that you could use, basketball. So get creative. Here are the scripts for the ball. The ball has to start somewhere, which is your go-to. It has to figure out how the game loses, right? You lose the game. It says if you're touching the red, stop everything. Stop the whole game. And then it says forever, whenever I do this, whenever the sprite of the ball is touching the sprite of the paddle, you're going to play a sound. Look what they've got. And then you're going to change direction. The directions that they have here are 180 direction. That means 180 degrees, it's going to flip completely the other way. So if it's going down, it's going to flip 180 degrees and go up. You guessed it. So, and then it's also going to move, right? Because it's not only changing direction, you have to tell it to actually move forward in that new direction. And then it's going to tell you to go randomly and another direction here, or another direction here. So these random keys are in the operators. See how it says pick random? There's that, and then the 180 is going to be this from 180 degrees to a direction. So this one says, the sticky note says, the part that says point in direction 180, it makes the ball change direction as though it had bounced off the paddle. Some people will make this game and they have this thing happen where their ball goes through the paddle, or it like sticks to the paddle, or it just does not bounce off. If you've got this little thing here, this one that says, it looks like a minus, like circle, minus, circle. If you put the direction button in there, like this, 180 minus direction, that means it keeps going and moves 5 steps in that other direction after it's changed direction. Because it's not going to move anywhere you tell it not to. You told it to turn, but you now have to tell it to move as well as turn. So the random turn after that is just to keep things interesting. You don't want it to bounce the same way every time, or else people are going to be able to beat your game and never have any fun. The last thing says if you're on the edge, bounce and move 4 steps. That means that you're not getting your sprite go off the page like over here, where then it like fades in and then you can't get it to back out. So you need to have a bounce thing there. But look at how simple the code is for the paddle. The paddle just says forever set the X, the horizontal left to right axis is called the x-axis. So any spot on the x, which is right here, these things, it's going to set the x to wherever I move my mouse. If I move my mouse over here, my paddle is going to follow me left, follow me right. But it's going to stay on that same plan. That's how you don't get a paddle that's like up off in the corner. It's down at the bottom where you set it. It's just moving left and moving right. Now, that's your basic outline for how to do the ping pong game. If you're feeling bold, I want you to try that. You're going to use each other for help, and I don't want this video to be too terribly long, so I'm going to let you go. Work with each other, clean up on time. Only working on any of those projects. Maze, ping pong, virtual aquarium, anything that's on our Scratch unit page. If you're doing other random stuff that's not appropriate, your guest teacher is going to write your name down and you'll have to sit out the next time, which would be a bummer because we're going to have a fun time the rest of this week. All right, be nice, clean up, stay quiet, help each other. All right,